There is an assumption within the question, which is that sort of work is bad and social is good. And I very much believe that those lines are blurring. I mean, I work within an organisation, I work hard within an organisation. Frankly, I like it. If I didn't enjoy doing the work that I did in the environment that I did, I would leave. And so if we can provide a good working environment for people and respect what they're wanting, that's going to be good for them, provided that I've got flexibility over how I manage my work, provided I've got appropriate times to do my social engagements or whatever it might be, and I'm in an environment that's not placing undue demands upon me in terms of stress, and frankly I'm comfortable. So as employers, we have to have a proposition that supports me and makes sure that I'm being well managed and given the right opportunities.
I think there's a real concern among a lot of employers that staff aren't switching off from their always-on lifestyles. But we often focus on that in a work context, and we forget that people are always on with their social media and their personal emails as well. So as a society, we need to look at it as a bigger issue of how do we train ourselves to be more mindful of the fact we're always on, and we need to take downtime. So putting in policies that we've seen in France of switching off all email traffic after 6 p.m, I don't think that's the answer. Because you also have the problem then of what about the employee who works in the morning, leaves work to go home to pick up their child, and then decides to do the email in the evening. That's absolutely fine, as long as they've had that downtime. And I think that's the bit that we need to understand as a society, is to sometimes stop, and stop being always on with all our devices.
I think this has become a much bigger question in recent years, perhaps where work has become more demanding, but perhaps also employees expect more from their personal lives and as a result are busy and occupied in their non-work time as well. I think there are things employers can do, particularly around technology and changing expectations about, or setting expectations, should I say, about whether or not employees are expected to respond to emails, to calls, outside of normal working hours. Perhaps we need to look a little bit to the root causes rather than just saying how do people cope with a very busy environment, but actually saying, is that actually the most effective way for work to take place? So I think that it's thinking about what generates that always-on context and providing support for employees to perhaps challenge some of the perceptions they may have about how they're expected to work, what they're expected to deliver in the organisation.